Hello gamers, this is Sai and welcome back to Which Way Games. I had so much fun last time playing a PlayStation game that I had to have a long hard look at what I wanted to play next. Fade to Black, Death Trap Dungeon, Resident Evil 2, I'm spoiled for choice. Oh wait, what time is it?
Enough screwing around, it's time to kill.
With that being said, let's get on with the video. In the late 90s, the PlayStation and Nintendo 64 were the consoles to have and provided many gamers with their source of entertainment. Well, those that couldn't afford a gaming PC. Single player games as well as multiplayer were becoming larger and took longer to complete compared to the old 2D games of the past. Speaking of games, I remember some that took a lot of my time when I was younger. These were The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Gran Turismo, and the infamous Mario Kart 64. God, I love that game. So much fun. Each console marked the way forward into 3D gaming, with some outstanding games as well as some questionable ones. The icons of the 2D age were getting transformed into 3D, such as Mario and Sonic, but others were abandoned and left behind. And with the introduction of 3D graphics, new gaming icons appeared. For example, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and the lovely Lara Croft. Yeah! Here's a question for you. What do you get if you mix Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis and Clint Eastwood as well as all the other 80 action heroes into one? You'll end up with a muscle-bound ladies man that loves guns and can throw out wisecracking one-liners when killing an enemy. With his red vest, jeans, shades and his iconic blonde hair, Duke Nukem was here.
Hail to the king, baby!
Speaking of blonde hair, who wore it better, Guile from Street Fighter or Duke Nukem? Created by Apogee Software, there were several games made about Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem and Duke Nukem 2 were both released for MS-DOS and were 2D side-scrolling action games. Duke originally had the name of Nukem with a UM, but there was a character on the cartoon Captain Planet with the same name. So to save on trademark issues, Apogee changed the name to Nukem with an EM, and the rest is history. Then in 1996, Duke Nukem 3D was released, and Apogee Software were now going by the name as 3D Realms. Players could now play as Duke Nukem in first-person view, much like Doom. Duke Nukem 3D was such a success, many spin-off games were made. In fact, today we're going to take a look at Duke Nukem Time to Kill.
Bitchin'.
Duke Nukem Time to Kill was developed by N-Space and published by GT Interactive while 3D Realms started work on the infamous Duke Nukem Forever. You know, that game that's in development hell for so long. PlayStation gamers could finally play as the big man himself. Duke Nukem is voiced by the voice actor John St. John, who based the voice of Duke on Clint Eastwood, but with a lower pitch. He also voices other video game characters, especially one from the Sonic Adventure series, a big, purple, fishing-obsessed cat called Big the Cat.
I must say, Froggy!
Like with most PlayStation games, gamers were treated to FMV cutscenes, and this game is no exception.
I prefer a good cigar and a bad woman.
Now, usually I would show the TV advert, commercial, TV spot, whatever you want to call it, but for this game it's pretty much the opening intro. In fact, let's have a quick look at the intro for Duke Nukem Time to Kill. doesn't really explain much apart from Duke hanging out at a strip club and killing pig cops, as well as turning Duke's motorcycle into a tricycle. The plot of Duke Nukem Time to Kill is that an alien race called the Drax are going back through time and messing up history. Unless of course you believe multiverse theory.
Blow it out your ass.
Okay, fine. As I was saying, the aliens are also aiming to kill Duke, take over the planet and steal the women.
Nobody steals our chicks and lives.
It's up to Duke once again to save the human race, beat the aliens and save the women. The first stage of the game is a hub stage. Players will come back to this time and time again as they progress through the game. The focus of this hub stage is the bootylicious strip club.
My home away from home.
But I'll come back to this later. Players will control Duke from a third person perspective, very much like Tomb Raider. In fact, there are some references to Tomb Raider throughout the game.
Ooh, Laura, is that you?
And Duke being a ladies' man, many women throw themselves at him and many men want to be him.
Hey, what can I say?
You can already tell the difference between Lara and Duke. I mean, Lara would swim, tumble, climb and use her intelligence to find treasure, while Duke will shoot anything that moves, blow stuff up, cracking one-liners and giving a middle finger while smoking a cigar. It does make me wonder whether Lady Croft would even give Duke Nukem the time of day. I'm sure there was a video of something somewhere where Lara would shoot a character that resembled Duke Nukem and after reloading her pistol says, "Not my type anyway." Kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke between developers, I'm guessing. I did try and search for this but with no luck, although I may have dreamt it. Going back to the hub stage, Duke must find 3 crystals and use them to operate a time machine. Duke Nukem Time to Kill has 4 time periods that it must travel back to, these being the Old West, Medieval Europe, Ancient Rome and Modern Day. And after each time period is completed, Duke returns back to the hub world, but each time it becomes different and the strip club is always effective in amusing ways. Have a look at this.
Hey, get your ass off stage and bring back my chicks.
Anyway, let's carry on with the game. Like I said, Duke Nukem controls very much like Lara Croft, but personally I prefer looking at Lara. Duke must jump, climb, swim and find keys to progress through each stage. With 30 stages throughout the game, there is more than enough to keep gamers amused. Along the way, Duke will find over 20 weapons and the usual power-ups of double damage and invulnerability. His main weapon of choice is his Desert Eagle, and if all else fails he has the Mighty Boot. But with enough exploration you'll find many other weapons such as shotguns, pipe bombs and an RPG. As I was saying about the time periods, there are several stages of action with each one, with the enemies taken on that time period's fashion. Although seeing a pig cop in a toga is something I'll never be able to get rid of. Seeing Duke wearing a kilt and a toga isn't something I thought I'd ever see in my lifetime.
Ooh, I make this look good.
In each level, if you're lucky enough, you'll find Duke's lovely ladies, especially in Rome. And eventually players will face off against the boss. The bosses all have a health bar and you have to battle them in a massive arena, very much like Gladiator. Going back to the controls for the game, you can control Duke with the D-pad, but one thing I did notice from time to time, you can get stuck in a wall when moving Duke around a corner. Don't let this put you off though, once you've mastered the controls, Duke becomes easy to control. Taking out enemies is fairly easy as Duke will aim his gun and a red dot will appear on the enemy. This lets players know that when they fire their gun it will hit home.
Damn, I need to check my aim.
One nice touch is the manual aiming. Duke will become transparent so players can see what they're aiming at. But this does leave Duke open to attack as he's fixed to the spot while in this mode. I almost forgot to mention about the multiplayer for this game. Multiplayer is basically a deathmatch to see who's the better Duke, with levels loosely based on the single player campaign referring to the different time periods.
Don't have time to play with myself.
And once again, I'm not going to spoil the ending for you. Overall, what did I think of Duke Nukem Time to Kill? Well, I would have to say it's fun to play. With its similar controls to Tomb Raider, PlayStation players will feel at home when playing this. The choice of difficulty settings does have the return factor to keep players interested, and seeing how far they can go to beat the aliens. I would recommend this game for any collector as well as any fan of Duke Nukem. Although if you're fans of Duke, I'm sure you've got all the games including 0 Hour for the Nintendo 64. I do remember buying this game when I first got paid in my very first job. It is a great game, especially being part of the Duke Nukem universe. And speaking of that, I am also a fan of Duke Nukem Forever, even if it does have its flaws, but it's still an enjoyable game. I'll go more into that into future videos. As I mentioned earlier about Duke Nukem 3D being played in first person perspective like Doom, it does beg the question what game is better. And speaking of that, who would win in a fight against Doom Guy or Duke Nukem? I know where my money is. Maybe save that for another video sometime. What game should I play next? Should I go for a GameCube game or Dreamcast game or Nintendo 64? Or should I have a look at the original Doom? Maybe go first person for a little bit. Unless of course someone's got a request, then let me know. Don't worry though, I'm not going to go back to 2D, not for a little bit anyway. That is until I do Street Fighter 2 or Super Castlevania 4. Both great games with a massive fan base and great controls, especially Super Castlevania 4. But that's for another time. Let's go back to the Bootylicious Club with Duke Nukem. And as he says,
shake it, baby.
oh yeah, who won in the Battle of the Hair and took the golden hairbrush home? Lucky win, Toothbrush Head. Anyway, it's time to end the video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next game.